What's up, RamFam? My name's Mckynna, and this is a new addition to the Ram TV catalog. Welcome to an animation reaction film, where we'll be looking at old animation videos and reacting to them. My name's Mckynna, and I enjoy animation, and I actually am an animator myself, so I kind of know what goes behind it.
I'm Dietrich Stanley. I do rotoscoping, a little bit of rotoscoping here at Ram TV.
I'm Tiana, and I don't do either one. I'm just a consumer.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about today?
Alright, so we're going to first off start this whole series off with the very first ever full-length animated movie ever made, which is obviously Snow White. Exactly. I'm like, you might want to pause it, because, like, look at all that. Look at all those freaking, I don't even want to
animals.
think about.
Look at all those chickens.
Look at all them chickens. No, because I'm like,
Imagine like how hard it is to get all of those rabbits in like the same style.
well, actually what they used to do back then, they would have like you know how like when you're in a full film you're given a character who you are?
Yeah.
They do the same thing in animation.
Mm-hmm.
Simba, there was an actual guy who's all he had to do was young Simba. So he did all the animations for young Simba. That way it was consistent. Because no matter what you do, how you draw a character will be different.
So did one guy do all of those rabbits?
Probably.
No, so they had like one person do like that blue squirrel up there, then they had another one do the brown squirrel, and then so on and so forth.
Maybe.
Right, but all the
I'm
rabbits kind of look the same.
joking entirely. They had one person.
Oh, okay.
One person did every single like
This was also
scene.
This is also very first Disney, so who knows how awful the Sweat Factory was back then.
Oh no! So I actually watched a documentary on stuff like this. Ironically, even though I'm the control. One person actually. So this scene, one person did. The next scene, another person did, and they just put them all
That's
together.
actually kind of cool.
That is cool, especially for like, cause I really know more of like the
drawings.
golden era,
Yeah.
golden era Disney. Yeah.
There's kind of a cool contrast between like the I guess like character frames with the animals. And then, like, kind of as you mentioned before this, the oil painting background.
Yeah, I loved old Disney because they always had that, like, painterly background.
Mm-hmm.
But it also gave you the, can you tell what part's fixing to move?
Yeah.
Which one of these lockers is going to open, Scooby?
The open one.
The one that's not painted. Yeah.
Cool, that's slightly brighter than the rest.
Yeah. Yeah. And, like, Snow White, like, I don't even know how they would have done it.
So that would have been rotoscoping. Because this is the first color cartoon, not the first cartoon.
Yeah.
That would have been rotoscoping, which had been used for a long time. And it's kind of, because animals, it's easy to draw, right? Animals, you don't have to worry about them being kind of uncanny valley.
That is true. You don't.
I say easy to draw. They're easier to get right than humans. And so to animate humans, and specifically human movements and like dancing and motion, that would be the first instances of rotoscoping. Which essentially allows you to make humans look natural even in the animated form.
Yeah. And what was interesting back then was, like, it wasn't 100% rotoscoping as people try to teach rotoscoping now. Where it's like, I've done rotoscoping before. Someone taught me how to do it. Where you just trace the outline of the entire... Which is what they didn't do back then. They more, like, took down the opacity and then drew the stick figure of it. That way they, like, kind of had it all smooth, and then they would add on the details later. Which is...
I know for like Hercules, they literally just filmed the women or the actors or whatever, and then they went and used that as reference. So they didn't trace or anything.
Yeah.
I did notice with her hair though, it was like moving.
Yeah, it was all fuzzy.
Yeah.
Which is like, I'm wondering how they did that.
More than likely, that's more discrepancy than actual like intention.
Yeah, probably. But you know what? It worked. It worked. And also, it's like her rosy cheeks. If you continue on. It's like they stay so perfect and they actually follow the movement so well. I'm like, how did they do that? Like, look, like, it's moving a little.
They're a little flickery.
But not so much that you're noticing it. It really does feel like her cheeks are actually rosy.
So I will say, one thing with the rotoscoping is you can kind of see where they do have remnants of where a real face would have been.
Yeah,
and
where
that
the
does,
exaggerated
it always
Disney.
does kind of look a little weird to me.
And look at her neck right there. Like, you can actually see where, not where the Adam's apple, because girls don't have Adam's apple, but, you know, if you were to animate now, you wouldn't even put that in. That little bump right there.
It's very uncanny.
Like that one... It's like, you wouldn't do that, but it does make her look so much more realistic and much more of that era, I guess. That time for Disney. And also the mouth. I'm like, they put so much detail to their mouths.
That side angle, so
Such a
weird.
quick shot.
Yeah. And her hand right there. I'm like,
Oh, that has to be
that is
traced.
pure,
Yeah.
that's pure rotoscope. I'm like, which I get. Hands are nice.
Yeah, that's.
They put the bird
Yeah.
on there and everything.
I know. But look at the water.
That water's so
Did y'all
real.
see the
That
water?
one's not real.
Yeah, that one's
Oh,
not.
those things
Look at
are
those
so
raccoons.
Cute. They're so cute.
They are adorable.
I want one.
Yeah.
Is there anything we can say about the raccoons since we're paused there? No.
Not
No.
really, no. Yeah, I feel like
Bird.
I feel like
I
it
am
fits so
that
well.
deer.
That deer. Yeah, just like
I will say if it gets back to the water, there is one thing that I noticed with water.
yeah, I know. It'll get back there.
Right there.
Yeah.
So the water. Notice that there's reflections in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That holds up.
Yeah, I mean, like,
That's something that like we use computers for now, and they were over here doing it with a pen.
well, yeah, because
Back
it's like
in my
all that was
day.
painted.
Back in my day.
Back in my, it's like we didn't have to think of photorealism. We just.
Okay, what is that face at that? that the trash panda is vicious.
Listen. He's
Menacing trash
gonna
panda.
hop off his lily pad and go for a little
I
swim.
think that should become a meme now. I am posting this as a
Menacing trash
a
panda.
part of Ran TV family. I'm saying someone make this a meme. I don't know of what, but it's memeable.
Menacing trash panda.
Jesus. Anyway.
Like me when I see
That
hot
was
Cheetos.
a turtle, not a...
Turtle. Oh, I saw an error with the reflection.
It's
Yeah.
okay. Don't worry about it. You're thinking too
But
much
like, look
into
at
it.
how cool, like, so many different animals. I'm like, whenever I think of like woodland creatures, I can only like think of like two things.
Oh, there's a little bit of blur in the corner of that frame. I wonder if that was intentional or
Oh yeah, or that might just be like,
her face is also a little distorted in this shot.
it might literally just be the recording that I found.
Mm-hmm.
It might not be the film. So, but yeah, like compared to this to like the Bambi bunny, it's like it still holds up. It feels like Disney. Cause like
You can see the hand drawn in it, and
Mhm.
that's not a bad thing. It's definitely a thing of the time.
yeah,
One thing I will say, kind of moving from the actual animation to kind of the character design, is when you think about the time that this was made, because it was like 30s, 40s, wasn't it?
this was during the Great Depression era.
So 30s.
Yeah.
You can see that kind of 20s haircut on Snow White.
Yeah, honestly, I loved Snow White's haircut my entire
Which
life.
is-
Because I was a girl that couldn't grow her hair at all. So Snow White was like everything. Because I could actually play her because I had tiny hair.
It is also kind of interesting how you see the more or less American, the kind of American film culture of the time reflected onto the a German fairy tale.
Well, it's also, yeah, because it's like everyone thought of Snow White as amazing. The very end, like Prince kissing Snow White and they ride off to the sunset, castle in the clouds. Because it was like a hopeful story, which is what they needed in the Great Depression. Or it was like right after the Great Depression era. And so that's why it was like such a big thing. And it was like, whoa, this feels awesome and amazing. And adults like it. And it was also a time when it wasn't all animation are for babies. If you are not a child, don't watch it. This is before that. So it's like more, you can probably
This
tell.
is just a film at the time.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, obviously by the fact that the witch got like thrown off a freaking
We
cliff.
don't worry about that. It's okay.
We don't worry about the witch being murdered.
We don't worry about the fact that all of her 7 doors are like, we're gonna go kill you now.
It speaks to the time.
It does.
It does, yeah.
So, what's the next clip?
All right, next clip. I believe is Cinderella. We are moving on to Cinderella, Walt Disney's favorite and the one that he was the most proud of film. And this is where the confusion of is it white or blue happened.
Listen, it's white.
It is white.
No, it's actually blue.
No,
Definitely blue. 'Cause why would you wear a white dress?
It was blue in the sequel, so it's blue here.
no, like it's white.
It is blue in the
Okay,
sequel.
again,
Maybe
why
the
would,
lighting.
why would it be white? Why would she wear a white, like,
Did you
ball
did
gown?
you did you see the faces though?
No.
This is love.
Which I will say, the first thing that I can note with this specifically is you can already see how it's smoother. They've
Yeah.
perfected the technique by this point.
Yes, they have. Because like, this was all rotoscoped. And
Mm-hmm.
then, or rotoscope plus inspiration thing.
Which look at the faces. They're both so good and so weird.
At the same time, it's like,
Yeah.
it was before Disney got to the point of like Little Mermaid big-eyed, everyone big-eyed, you know. So they were a little bit more realistic proportions. But this specifically, you see how they're kind of floating? This was
Yeah.
all recorded and rotoscoped over, but
Mhm.
the background didn't fully match up.
Yeah. Which this is even more of a painted background.
Yeah,
Like
no,
you can
That one's so pretty. I know. I just in the water.
look at the trees in the background. They're kind of fluffy.
Yeah, and it was just I love this era of Disney because I was just like it's so it felt like a painting.
Mm-hmm.
From like a filmmaking standpoint, I did not like that shot.
Oh, what shot? Go back.
It like there was more of the water than there was of them, and I understand that they're trying to like hit the water and go,
Oh,
but
so it's like
just the
like it should have been
the
more,
framing of it was weird.
Yeah. Like you think it should have been like 2 shots?
To be
instead of
honest,
I think they should have had a higher angle.
one?
so I'm going to look at it from a different perspective. This is going to be from a groundbreaking perspective. That waterfall would be the point. Because they have clear water there.
This is fine. This is, like, great. But, like, as you progress in the clip, like, it just... Because you want the visual to stay kind of on them, but then, like, I get she hits it and then it goes down.
But, like, you should have gone down as she hit it, not before she hit it.
I'll also say her hand never actually touched the water.
Yeah.
Listen, don't worry about that.
It's another rotoscope. It probably was all this was just
We're
filmed in,
reading
like, a
too
studio.
much into it.
Yeah. And, yeah, 'cause, like, that's cool.
That's not how water works.
That is not how water works.
And I think they were trying to get, like, the ripples
And
into
that's
the
not how
stars.
stars work.
I think they were trying to get the ripples to match with the stars, but it didn't quite.
They're
that didn't quite match.
The thing with Cinderella
they're in a
is...
snow globe.
The thing with Cinderella is the people look awesome. The environments are so much downgraded from Snow White.
Don't worry about it.
Well, yeah, because it was just a different feel. Because, like, Snow White was all in the woods.
her hair.
Well, you don't like the little bun?
No, that is a blue dress.
No, that isn't.
Okay.
Alright, with all that said, thank y'all RamFam for joining us today. We'll see y'all next time, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Bye!
Ya goon!